Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Master Your Marketing Masterclass. And today in my hot seat, I have Mia Saenz that I adore and love. We've worked together so many times. Just love her energy, and we're pleased to have her today. She is also a business coach and is going to help you really expand your presence in your business, which we're going to talk in many ways that she's done this herself. Welcome, Mia. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
She is fabulous.
It's wonderful to be here with you, Carrie. Thank you.
Yes.
You and I were giggling before. Before you began this, so I'm all smiles.
I know, right? It's like disclaimer. There may be giggling.
Exactly.
Just who we are.
Silly pants.
That's right. I was told that's our enlightenment and our God kind of energy coming through when we giggle. So, hey, I'll take it.
It's happiness, right? It's happiness.
Yes.
I think it's the little tiny cherubs tickling us.
Yes. It's not our fault. They just keep poking us.
It means we're happy girls, which is what we strive to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What you give out, you get back. So Mia's so sweet. I love her to death, and I know so much about her, but you might be seeing her for the first time, and I really want her to share how she evolved into this, because again, we don't wake up doing what we do. I hate to say it's not that simple. We don't just wake up, today I want to do business coaching or whatever that looks like for you. So give us a little backstory of how you've evolved to who you are today.
And you know how you said we don't just wake up and say I'm going to be a business, because you and I both know from watching people that they do wake up and say I want to be a relationship coach, and then they jump into it, or I want to be a business coach, and people have no idea. So that was just a funny little comment. So at 18 I got married, and immediately I went into nursing school instead of the typical college. I went and got my RN. And during that time, not only was I working in a facility, but I also started my first business with my first husband, who I stayed with for many, many years. So I have had over 15 businesses, brick and mortar and then online, in the last 30 years. So this is why 5 years ago, when I started teaching business quietly, sort of like undercover, just recently in the last 2 years, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I have to get out there more. And so I joined forces with Bonnie Gale, who is a Beverly Hills owns a big Beverly Hills bookkeeping service where she has many people who work for her, and is also a business manager for many of her clients. She's also many other things too, just like I am. Yes. But what's really cool is we started a business called Business and Finance Mentoring, and I teach the business side for the business formula, and I'm also a business strategist, which really excites me when I get into the business stuff. And she does all the financial stuff, such as teaching keep more of the money you make, because we make money, but we don't know how to keep track of it properly. We don't know how to move it around. So she teaches all that. She also teaches how to get out of debt. I mean, all this stuff that's amazing. Yeah. She has saved her clients, millions by getting them out of debt. So it's great stuff. It's something that's needed, and it's very unique to combine the two together. And we're just really excited about it. We both have been doing our own thing and then said, hey, let's do this together. So nice. Yeah, it's beautiful. So it's very cool. The businesses that I have run or been involved with are not your typical, like, okay, I'm a nurse, so I'm going to stay a nurse, or I'm a doctor and I'm going to stay a doctor. I'm an attorney and I'm going to stay an attorney. I'm an accountant, I'm going to stay an accountant. So I went through nursing school. I became a nurse in a holistic hospice center, and I had my first breakdown when I was 22 because the death of people just was really hard on me. And when you're an empath and you're spiritual and stuff, it knocks you down because you love so deeply. So I moved into another field. During that time, as I had mentioned, my first husband and I started a food business called Lala's Americana Classics. And we took his grandmother's New Orleans French Quarter recipes and we recreated them. First, it was a high-end package, completely sealed deli food that people would buy at the high-end stores and take home. Then we realized with the shrimp and stuff, we had to, you're always in your business moving stuff around to see what works. So then it became a frozen food company. Wow. I also bought into, a pet store that was always on the news and Entertainment Tonight. We had miniature horses and all sorts of stuff, and kids could pet the animals. Yeah, it's really, really great stuff. Gosh, guys, I've been a banker. I've had a t-shirt company. My last business before this was a medical supply company to the movie business. Just so much stuff. If I liked it, I would do it. I've had 3 food things, which was the frozen food company. I've been a chef, and I've also been an event coordinator where we provided the cakes and the parties and all that kind of stuff in the food. So I've done that plus a million of other things. And
Wow.
yeah, it's very cool. So I work with people in brick and mortar, online, and product lines.
Beautiful. I love it. You think Mia might know a little bit about business?
And nobody realizes this because you know me, Carrie.
Right.
I don't blab my stuff,
Yeah.
even to my closest friends like you. If it didn't come up in a conversation,
Right.
you may not know about it until, 5 years after knowing me like this.
Right. I think I only knew about 10% of all of that.
Yeah. And I realized, see, what we can do, which is really cool, that helps us in our marketing and our business, is reach into your life. Your life is fabulously rich. So reach into any skills that you have and expand from there. If you started to do some kind of computer work where you're and I'm just flowing here, guys. If you're doing some computer work where you feel comfortable with it, maybe you might be interested in some form of a computer business. Whether you're a VA back end doing doing marketing with people through their websites, or whether you want to design websites, or whether you want to be a PR person with their website type stuff,
Right.
working everything together. So take whatever is, and the reason I brought that up is because I am not a computer person. So take
We are
whatever.
always looking for people like that.
Exactly. Good people. So take what feels right to you and see where you can expand it into your business. Either create a business or utilize information that you've used before. People get frozen and closed down.
Yes.
When you talk to someone like Carrie or myself, we're very open and very loving. And that's all we care about, is to service people with love and kindness. And so you're going to feel comfortable speaking to people like us. And so when you do, just open up those
Right.
channels, because everything begins to flow.
So true. We get stuck in that W-2 mindset. It has to look like a job. Or we'll even try to fit ourselves in a box based on what's out there for hiring. We don't realize our skills can blossom into this beautiful business and brand. And I love that. And we see it every day. So our mind's like, oh, you need to do this over here and brand it like this. And it all comes, crystal clear for us. We're on the outside seeing it. And
Can I share how I became a coach?
Yes, please.
Well, I was pretty much an invalid, as a lot of people know my story, because I've been for almost the last 10 years. I was first a passion muse, a relationship coach, and I'm the love alchemist because I also am a spiritual love teacher. And that is who I am. And the businesswoman is who I am. So I have these funnels of these businesses going into Saenz Enterprises and a couple of other ones. So I got started in this business because, as I said, I was an invalid. I was given just a few years left to live too. And so when I had my awakening within that month and could see or try to move forward into a healing, it worked, it happened, my life changed, and I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to be a coach because I had nothing else I could do. I was still deemed bipolar, even though I was off my meds, wasn't acting like it. I was afraid of being sick again. I was afraid of being tired. So for me, I created my own experience. This is why when I jumped into coaching, I jumped in with I was going to say with all my feet.
Wow, how many does she have?
I got 4. Sometimes it feels like 8 hands.
Yes.
So we're all over. So I did this because I had to do this. Now I realize that it's what my heart and soul were calling me to do. And as Carrie said, you have some free time here and there, and you're like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Recently, I'm just like, I love this because I just got over having the flu for nearly 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was able to move my clients when I had to and sleep and take care of myself. It's been a beautiful journey. It really has. So you can create the life that you want, including your business, but you have to take the steps to do it.
Yes. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is so worth it when things fall into place. I didn't have the flu for 3 weeks, but we did have a horrific Vegas week. And it was nice to clear my calendar. Yeah. It was nice to clear my calendar yesterday. Yesterday, I just was like, you know what? I just can't be in front of the camera today. I just can't do it. You know, it's just part of the, I just can't. I've been putting on the happy face every day, but it just starts, you know, as an empath, it just starts to feel like, oh, I can't do it anymore. And it's nice to be able to clear that too. And just say, sorry guys. And of course your clients are going to be understanding. They're like, we get it. We're praying for you. You know, I understand. And they're like, we'll see you next week, you know.
Yesterday was a great day to take off because the moon that we have, the harvest moon,
so beautiful. That's
full moon today, was really powerful starting yesterday. And so many people, like I've been awake since 3:30 this morning. I haven't been able to go to sleep. So, you know, it was good you took it off for a May Day. And we have to do that. Not all the time, guys, because your clients want, you know, their schedule. And you create a schedule with your clients because, you know, it's easier for you. So, but when you need it, take it and be wise. It's lovely. And I know, Carrie, nobody has to tell you because you're always working, girl. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, we have to say,
I don't think I've ever done that. Yesterday was the first time I've ever said, I'm so sorry, but I need to move this training call and I need to maneuver some stuff. I just want to sit in my t-shirt, not look at anybody today or put a happy face on. It was just one of those things. Yeah. And the full moon energy, like I feel so vibrant waking up today. It's definitely, I always feel that extra pull of energy, supercharge. Love that stuff. Fun, so good. So good. Well, I love that you expand on listening to your soul. I know you went to a coach and it wasn't coaching because of maybe at the time, maybe if you want to look at it, disabilities, and I don't want people to assume that. I have friends that have gone through cancer and have kept their coaching business afloat. You know, if you build the foundation beneath you, you can still have a lifestyle. Life can still happen and nothing falls apart. It still gets to float. I want you to talk a little bit about expanding your presence because Mia's been out there. She is way out there. Media and PR is her thing. She has not been shy. I do have to say, though, if you want to do this but hide, it doesn't work. You know, you just can't. It doesn't work. And I have clients, too. I feel like I'm trying to pull them out of a closet. Like, come on, you can do this.
Out of the quicksand, right? Come on, honey. Please, work with me.
Yes. I want you to shine, but you can't shine hidden in a corner somewhere.
Exactly.
So, yes. Talk about that.
Yeah, and I also want to say that I came into coaching because I also realized in that moment of my awareness, I knew I wanted to serve mankind. So I didn't even know what coaches were, you know, literally. I knew Tony Robbins, but I didn't know anything necessarily about the coaching world when I got into it. I got my first mentor right away. They named me, you know, I mean, it literally in the first 6 weeks, I had my first event because they're like, in 6 weeks, we want you to have an event and a live event and this and that, you know, and I did everything they said. You put it out for me and I'll do it like this. And you know, so anyway, so exposure. Having exposure is very important. Now, you have to understand, I was not always this comfortable in front of the camera. I had to become comfortable with myself. That's why I teach love, right? And self-love and all that. And so I'm what's called an extroverted introvert. So I have to have my time alone. I absolutely have to have more than 4 or 5 hours, not because I don't like people, but because I require it like you for our spiritual morning and stuff to refill our day. And so it's interesting because I just want to share, anyone when they work on themselves can literally get to this area even if they think they can't. I used to be a cheerleader, not the best cheerleader because I didn't want people to see me, but I wanted to be out there. I was a singer in a rock band. But there were times when they were like looking at me like, get the volume up, you know, because I was like, I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to be seen. And in the school play, you know, I almost peed my pants on stage because they were putting on my alien makeup and I missed my role on. So then when they shoved me out there, somebody off on the side is reading my role and I'm standing there looking. So trauma like that can stay with us. So I am now so open that, as Carrie can tell you, you can ask me anything and I will tell you anything. So let's get on to communicating and getting out there in the world. It's the most powerful thing. if you are still within yourself and you listen, you'll be guided. I was guided to be the messenger of messages. That means I take your message and I put it out into the world. That has created an incredible network and community for me, which was my radio shows and all that. Also, when you get to that place where you want to serve others, you can, in the beginning, use not their energy, but you can use the energy of the excitement that you're helping people to move you forward.
Yes.
And it's literally about practicing. We all didn't pop out behind the curtain saying, ta-da, and do a, Shirley Temple tap dance for everybody. So I remember my first show, my producer said to me, I had a little shot of vodka and everything.
With the nerves, yeah.
Exactly. My producer said, now you've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You've done this 1,000 times. So I just breathe that in. I've done this. And let me tell you guys, I hit that mic running, like a pro, because we can step into what we create for ourselves. So get out there. Here's the ways I want you guys to get out there. I want you to create a podcast if you don't have it. You don't have to go with a radio station. Radio stations nowadays, unless you are on a huge network that is going to pay you, our regular radios, and you know what, anybody can be a celebrity or a star these days. So make one for yourself if that's what you want.
Start your own
in
show.
Your field. Yes.
Yep.
So do a podcast, get that out there, be consistent, same day, same time, put it up, put it up, put it up, put it out there. It goes through all the little finger spiders that are pulling the information. Create video shows. Those are the most powerful thing. People call them summits and this and that. I call them educational series because the other word is so overused. I started doing this long before I knew about other people that did this. And so I would gather women together and ask them, can I interview you? And then I would put it out and, it was great stuff. So this is the next step. Start a YouTube channel. Start one with your business name. It has to be Gmail because Gmail and YouTube or Google are married. And so you can't do it with another one. But choose a name that's similar to your business name. So that's what shows up in the little spiders in the internet stuff. It's going out of my brain. That's not what the word is, but that's okay. It'll come back. So when you get to putting up videos, we're talking about not silly stuff, or you can have a silly channel, but if it's for work, it needs to be work-oriented. Exactly. And make them clean if you're putting them up there. It literally can make or break you. Because if you don't do it, you're not expanding to the world. YouTube is about as big now as Google and Facebook. And so it's really vital to do this. This is the best marketing tool you can use. As I was telling Carrie that in 2014 and 15, 70% of my income came from my YouTube channel. Now, not from monetizing it. I monetized it a long time ago. I don't know if I have 10 pennies in there or a million pennies, They've never sent it to me, whatever. It's because when people are Googling, people that I'm talking to, having conversations with, they see me and they're like, wow, I want to check out Mia. And so oftentimes they'll come my way to work with me and say, I met you through Lynn Andrews' interview you did, or I met you through Laura Eisenhower, or here or there, all these different people. And so that is a plus right there. Now, currently I have over 100,000 views in the last 3 years. So to do that, you must get your stuff out there. You've got to put in a nice description. You've got to tag it with things that will go out into the internet. The description, the title description, there are ones that are catchy and ones that are not. So learn what is best suited for the YouTube internet market. If you're working with me, I'm happy to do that kind of stuff. But the point is you can figure it out. Watch them, look at other people's stuff. Now, here's another tip that's important for you guys to use, and that is in your interviews, and I recommend that you interview people all the time. Do Facebook Lives at least once a week, because if you're not doing it, people are not watching you. When you're gone, people forget you. So when they see you, and remember, the first presentation of who you are, letter, face, whatever, background, everything, people are going to remember. Because if they were slighted in any way, like turned off or whatever, people are judgmental. you know, they will remember that no matter what. They'll remember. I remember people, you know, doing crazy stuff. There's this millionaire now business coach that she climbed that much in like 2 years. 2 years ago, she was a basket case when I interviewed her. And I was like, do I even put this on my show? I don't know what to do with it.
Oh, wow.
And so the point is that everybody does change, right? And we do have an impression. I still will always remember her as that. And I keep her emails coming through, but when they come through, I'm just kind of like, ee! You know, because that was my reaction. So I may have to take her. She left a bad taste
in your mouth. I get it.
She did. I may have to take her to lunch to change that taste. But my point is be aware that when you are seen, have your hair the way you want it, have your makeup the way you want it, or men, be groomed the way you want it, wear your clothes the way you want it, your background, because people are watching. When they get tired of seeing your face, they're going to look, oh, look, Carrie's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a clock. You know, we're talking about pictures and a clock, and oh, that's a nice home.
It's an office,
over there. But
that's my therapy couch.
And there's somebody on there, and and you get what I'm saying is people, they want to hear the interview, but then they get bored, so they're looking around to see what they can see. So be aware of all of these. These are important. So in your clips that you're doing, you're interviewing somebody, interview them for 10 minutes, even 15 minutes, and put them on your business page. I also have another tip for you guys. I'll have to remember about this. So if there's something really spicy in there or something great, quotable, remarkable, memorable, take that piece and put it all over your social media. Send it out to your Instagram, to your Twitter, to your LinkedIn. From today's episode, you know, kind of thing. Create a show for you. You don't, if you're tight on a budget, the best way to do it is create a podcast yourself, fairly as clean as you can get it, and make sure you're uploading them all the time exactly when you're supposed to go. Do all the work yourself. You can do that with video as well. And edit it. All systems come with an editing system. Learn to be an editor. I started years ago. I edit most of my own footage because I don't trust people to do it. We don't want Mia looking a certain way. So it's funny because when people do edit my stuff, they know that, you know, you gotta look a certain way on camera. So it's literally about utilizing what you have, your expansion. Now let's move a little bit further into radio. If you get on a radio station, there are spiritual, there's Body, Mind, and Soul, there's iHeart, there's Healthy Life, there's all different kinds. So if you get on a radio station, your viewers, your, you know, what people are tracking you at will go way up. When I was at Healthy Life, my ratings were somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000. A publisher recently told me that. She said, I've been watching you for a couple of years. And, you know, when your rates are down because you don't have a radio show. And I'm like, I'm not down, baby. You know, I still have those followers in that 174 countries. So do you see that made me international because I was speaking to people in 174 countries. Right. Then when my CD came out, 3-4 years ago, my first CD, I have 2 out now, that hit international because I also had people starting to follow my work. So when you build your list, which is part of marketing, when you build your list, you're going to go international because it's through all these wires that we're not seeing. So you can expand. Start to track yourself. It's fun. I have clients from 23 countries over the years. I'm in 174. I'm in all 7 continents. You don't think, babies, that I'm not going to utilize that for me? In fact, I just saw a map of that on my website. I need to get that on my website.
That's so cool. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the point of it. And also when I was saying about create your own video show, put it up on YouTube, okay? Take these snippets, put them all over, but also when you're posting from your business page and your personal page, remember, I do the same thing as you guys. I post on my personal page. We're not supposed to, but I do. Make sure, and I'm now going to be working on it, even though I've got like 9,000 followers on my business page, I'm going to make that a meaty group that, you know, it can be conversational and more supportive. That's like my goal coming up. So when you do your postings, don't post your link that's going to take them off of Facebook inside the post. Put it down in the first comment. So write, to click on this, go to the first comment, because Facebook is going to mess up your algorithms.
Yeah, Facebook doesn't like YouTube. They
Yeah,
don't. They are not in bed together like Google and YouTube are.
That's right. And I got that from Bonnie Gail. So the business partner.
Yes.
So I love to give people props where props are due, because
Absolutely.
So many people don't honor others with saying, oh, I heard this from so-and-so, or so-and-so says this. And then people begin to think that you're saying it and that it came from you. Spirit, the divine, we all have the same messages. But there are some people who get it and put it out to the world. So let's just honor them for that. I know people have taken my stuff over the years, and it doesn't scare me, because I'm going to go into the 5% rule that my dear friend Carrie wrote about in an article.
Yes.
So the 5% rule is 5% of the population will love us. So with and it can expand into the 10%, guys. And so with over 7 billion people, and because of Carrie, I had to double check my stuff because I was going way low on that. It's over 350 million. So that's 350 million people we're going to touch, 350 million opportunities. It removes the scarcity, lack, and fear. And then you can take it into your other aspect of life. 350 million lovers maybe that are available, $350 million that are there.
Right.
So, it just removes all the garbage that this dense planet that's gorgeously beautiful throws upon us. So stay light, stay airy, stay fresh, and get out there and become international.
Absolutely. I love it.
I feel like we're spies. She's salt and I'm pepper. No. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. She's vanilla and I'm licorice.
So silly.
I know.
I love video, and I have to admit, it terrified the crap out of me. And I had so
you're
many takes.
At it.
I know, but it takes practice. I was terrified. If you could see I started a digital media company in Vegas here in 2009. The takes they had to do for like one video, I just kept going over it. I'm like, good Lord, like take 15, take 16.
Yeah.
You just got to start. We don't wake up like, yay, here we are in front of the camera. It's so easy and comfortable. It's not.
Well, I'm comfortable talking from free spirit, or from my heart or whatever, but I'll tell people I am not an actress. So if Carrie and I were to do something together and she said, okay, here's your lines, you got to memorize it. I'd be like, once it came to that, see, this is where that introvert part, I'd be like, and I wouldn't be able to talk.
And that's what I grew up doing, was theater. I could memorize the lines because I get to be somebody else. And public speaking is a piece of cake, because it's just flowing through you. I don't have to remember, the choreography of where I need to stand, who am I today, what lines are theirs and mine. Yeah. I'll take speaking publicly all day over acting. Yeah. I'm with you. But what's your advice for anyone that's like, I can't get on the camera? That kind of fear, like, it just terrifies me. What do you suggest they do?
Here's a couple of things. Well, first, coming from the spiritual aspect, let me get a drink of water.
You're welcome to drink.
Please
hydrate.
And we're going to talk about that too. So coming from the spiritual side of it, I would say breathe, do your breath work, at least 3 or 4 in, and exhale out slowly.
Grounded.
That's going to relax your body. We want to be relaxed, because then everything starts to naturally flow. And then also do some mindset work about the fact that you can do this. You are an empowered being.
Right.
Even if it's simply that you're a reflection of the divine. The divine, if the divine was here in person, which we are, there should be no mix-ups or messes, because we are smooth, just like that.
Right. It's all about, I always said, I'm not nervous when I take me out of the equation. Mm-hmm. I'm just like Marianne Williamson always says, just be the faucet, let God be the water. And it's totally different now. It's not even about me anymore. It's about the message.
And do you know what something else she said? She said love and God vibrate at the same level.
Yes.
Just like Mia Saenz says.
Yes.
She said that on stage.
Yes.
In January. Sorry, I have to say that, because I was like, when you said that, I'm like, she quoted me.
She did. We all love her. We're all big fans of Marianne.
Yeah, she's
good
awesome.
Stuff. Very true.
And also look at people like that. Look at people like Carrie, how relaxed she is. Emulate people that you respect. You can emulate them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean, and I'm not saying steal their energy. I'm saying reflect on her grace and how calm she is and how brilliant. And then she smiles. Practice this in front of the mirror. People will see me and it's natural now. I find, and I do this in regular conversations, is I'm animated because I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I get into the feeling of what I'm saying, but it's more entertaining to somebody than if I was straight. You know,
because right? Like, where did Mia go?
When I
get back here, girl, that was creepy for a second there.
When I see people like that, or I'm interviewing them, it's like you want to put a pin in them because you want something.
I know.
We don't want to have boring. We want to have communication, conversation, and all of that stuff. You asked me, oh yes, and so then the other thing, besides the spiritual calming down, if you're brand new at it, and I'm not talking about if you are at risk of an alcoholic or anything, but my mentor told me to take a shot of vodka before I went on air, and I did, and it calmed me the hell down the first time I was on air. So, go through an imagery. You don't even have to do the vodka or any of the other stuff, but go through an imagery of what it's like for you to talk to the masses, either on air, on camera, and practice that. Videotape yourself. Just like how she and I are doing, so that you can see that, okay, I need to sit up taller, I need to push myself back, I need to smile more. These are things that are practiced. I stare at the camera all the time simply because I can see the peripheral of Carrie. Once in a while I look down because she's too pretty not to. And so, but otherwise I will be looking at you in the camera. You know why? Because you know that I'm looking at you. We're connected. So be connected with your audience. And I do look away with Carrie because we play so much, because I almost looked away and then I'm like, no, I'm talking about looking here.
I know. I only, when I talk to her, look at the camera, because I'm just envisioning the person you're talking to on the other side of the camera. Some of my clients will put a little sticker or a smiley face on their camera to remind themselves to look there, because nothing's worse than if you're looking down at yourself the whole time. You can't connect with your audience. Because I love video, because it does create that connection that we don't get to have, especially if they're in all those other countries.
Exactly.
So use it.
And your people are going to love it too, who are following your work. They want to see you. They want to hear from you. Be authentic. Be real. Because when you're telling them a story of when I shared that brief change in my life, it's very valuable to me, because who I was before is not the woman I am today by any means. Nobody even recognizes me, literally. When they see me, well, most people have seen me by now, but it's taken, years for me to come up, meet all the world of people that I knew before. And they're just like, holy shit, look at you. And I'm like, I know, and be the rock star that you want to be. Be the goddess that you want to be. I love the fact that Sophia Loren literally says a goddess is a goddess no matter what. She is in her skin. She is taking care of herself. Now, I used to have a figure like Sophia Loren did when she was younger, but I'm older and I don't. I may again sometime, but the fact is, this is where the self-love stuff comes in, and the body love is, I freaking love myself. I mean, it's how I express myself on stage. It's how I express myself in camera. It's how I express myself to you guys, because I'm excited to be here talking to you. I love this stuff. And I do want to share, Carrie, that in the new year, early in the new year, I'm going to start a program about teaching people how to do camera work and all the aspects of it, because I find that most of my clients don't understand it, and that I'm spending a good hour that's getting interrupted, with questions and stuff, trying to teach them how. So it's going to be spread out over like 4 weeks or something, very simple, but it's really important to know the ins and outs. I also come from a Hollywood family. I married into one I don't come from it directly, but I'm married into a Hollywood family. So for me, as professional as I can be is very important. Because I'm used to seeing sets and cameras and, action. My first husband was an actor before he became behind the scenes crew. So, and then my his grandfather started the Foreign Film Division of the Academy Awards. So, it's really important for me to have not perfectionism. I want realism, but I also want it to be where somebody is enjoying it. My heart was broken. One of my mastermind sisters, I was so excited to interview her about 3 years ago, and her mother didn't like my red and black backdrop that was so pretty. And she said, no, I don't like that interview. I just don't want to watch it. And it hurt me because I loved my friend and she didn't like my backdrop. So, we can't make everybody happy, make yourself happy.
Right.
But be aware that everyone is different. And again, that 5% rule, she's not my person, and that's okay, and that's okay.
Yes.
And when people unsubscribe from you, when you start to send them emails and stuff, they're not your people.
Right.
And your people are there. So relax into it, because you don't want to freak yourself out in your marketing aspect.
Right.
You want to market through your emails too. You want to have an emotional story or connection. You're connecting with your audience through your emails. So get that emotional connection going. That's your marketing through writing. Get it going with them. Ask them questions. Have them write you back. Respond to them. Do you know how many coaches do not respond?
Yes, I know.
And then I have people try to defend them. Well, they're so busy. And I want to say, have you looked at my calendar?
I know.
Did you know I was also editor-in-chief of a magazine too at the same time, my own magazine? It's like people don't get that we are busy too, So
yeah, absolutely. All
connect.
Yes. And it's true. And the stories is what connects us. That's what creates that human to human touch, makes us relatable.
Well, Carrie, isn't it like 10, 20, 30,000 years old? This is how we communicated to people, through storytelling, right?
Right.
And so we passed down information before there were books, and before you had to carry 10 tablets of stone carved down to school. We used to learn by sitting around at night, during the day, being told tales, stories, history.
Yes.
So we are communicators. We are listeners. We absorb it all in our body. We have the cellular memory. So understand that communication is vital. You can be an introvert, and this could be the best position for you, because you are still slightly separated from people. Get out on the stage, get out speaking, get your face out there, because that's how you're going to get known faster. But if you want to do videos and marketing and radio and stuff, but you're afraid to get on stage live, that's okay. That's okay, guys. Just relax. It's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. And if it was everybody's cup of tea, Carrie and I wouldn't have a job.
Technology's in your favor. It's all good. You're okay.
It is. And this is a very cool thing. When I was a kid, I didn't have support from my mother. Carrie knows I had an abusive childhood, blah, blah, blah. That's why I teach Love Changes the Energy of Your Story on the love work that I do. So I wanted to be Miss America. And I would look at me. I
think we all did.
I'm sure. And at 18, when I met my husband at 17, he was many years older. And when I was 18, I married him. And I knew I had to give up that dream. And so my entire life changed, because I went from having to be at boarding school because I couldn't be at home with my mother. There was no home to be with after my father died. So we have choices that we make. This modern age is the most fantastic experience you can create. You can, and let's say, be authentic, be truthful. It's not about putting on facades. It's not about faking it until you make it. Because if you fake it visually until you make it, you're going to be a fraud, literally. So be congruent with your message. Make sure that it runs through you. When I would interview people early on radio, before I started doing video work, I remember a couple of the speakers, male and women, they would be reading from their book. I mean, they were so dry, they were so boring. And I would be like, tell me from your heart, man. What's going on? So then I would push them away. I wouldn't utilize them again until they were ready. Some of them have come back around, and I utilize them now because they're ready. They can feel that flow. What Carrie and I both really want, I'm speaking for her. I'm sure she'll agree. She's like, sister, not yet. What we would really like you to feel is that fluency in your body, to be able to talk to people. It's smooth, because when you're relaxed, when you're calm, you're your best piece of marketing. Like I said before, the first impression sticks with everybody. So be congruent to who you are. Keep your family life crap off of Facebook, for one, because that's what we remember. Those coaches 5, 7, 9 years ago that were bitching about their life and their this, I don't see them anymore. maybe they're not in my news feed, but I've
Right.
Googled some of them. We all have curiosity.
Right.
And then they're not around. So why is that? Because they let the world know their dirty laundry.
Right.
You work on your private stuff privately.
Yes.
You don't allow it to interfere with your work life. If it is, then take 50% off the time, from your clients, meaning that have less clients if you have to. Get
Right.
your shit together
Right.
so that you can service mankind.
Absolutely. Every time you make a post, think of as if you had some boss or CEO censoring or watching that. What kind of impression would that person get? And is this the message I really want to give to the planet? Because it is what we put out there, just multiplies. I always cringe when I see someone just venting and venting. You're like, oh, you're just asking for more reasons to vent about something new. You're just pulling in more reasons to be negative.
It's drama, isn't it?
Yes. It's exhausting, but
and you know what I literally think, Carrie, and I don't even do it anymore, but if I'm upset and want to post something, I literally say to myself, the world is watching you, Mia.
Yeah, and they are.
The world is watching you, because my following is very big, and this is from the love work, besides this other, but we don't know what we don't know. So I didn't know that this person's friend watches me, and this person's friend, and this person's friend, and that the reach out spider webs out. So you have a huge, or somebody will say, hey, watch Mia Saenz because I really liked her post last week. So I may have a couple of new people watching my stuff. And if I'm talking about, I don't know, my dog's breakup with his mate or something, because it's so silly, to post publicly, then that's what the world is going to see. So when I mentioned to you that the world sees and makes an impression the first time they see you, guess what, guys? If you're throwing crap into your own stream, you're polluting your stream, and people are going to see it and people are going to feel it. So keep yourself clean. It's just part of being an authentic, clarity, valuable individual.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can feel your words, not just read them. We feel you, and the intention behind them.
Yes.
Might as well be pure in love. I love that. So wonderful. Mia has shared a ton of gems with us today, but she has one more gem for us. She's got a gift for everyone, and I would like her to share that with you.
Yay! So my free gift to you guys is a downloadable, sort of like a PDF book. And it's 20 super tips to start, grow, and succeed in business. This is something that my business partner and I put together. So you have 10 finance and 10 business. And so that alone is valuable, because she's a rock star. I mean, literally, she blows my mind. I hope I blow hers too with my business sense. But
sounds like you're a perfect yin and yang, though.
We are yin and yang. That's right. We are a perfect balance. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a partnership like that in business. Where's my other half?
Can I plug the name of my website?
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
And this gorgeous website is businessandfinancementoring.com.
Okay.
And then you can also find us on Facebook. We have a free coaching group, because nobody's talking about how to save more money, how to keep more of the money that you make. So
true.
Look for Business and Finance Mentoring on Facebook, and we go in there. We will be going in there probably once or twice a week. We also have a paid group too, but I'm just saying that the free one's free, and that's fine. Join it, learn, enjoy. And then move on over to the other one, because it's pretty cool too.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is so true, because we are all we kind of are pulling into this make money. And I know from my own personal experience, if I think I'm going to pay a ton of taxes, or I should invest it here, or I'll actually limit myself from making more money if I think it's going to go somewhere or just get lost in the shuffle, or just, knowing you can allocate it smart financially, or put it where it needs to and reinvest into your business, you'll actually pull in more, because you know what to do with it. So it's all energy.
And in that book, we talk about a little bit about when you remain a business that's licensed, when you want to be an S Corp, when you want to be, corporation and LLC, that kind of stuff, because you got to know where your money's going to.
Yes. We're not just over here self-employed hobbyists. This is like, treat it like a real business, people. I've been screaming this for years.
Pass the cookies, Carrie. Pass the cookies.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Oh, it's all good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you so much, Mia. Do you have any final thoughts for our audience before we let you go today?
Yes, what keeps coming to me that I've noticed also in the industry of online and just in our world, everything is changing, right? Our online business is changing again. All the rules that we knew are changing.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you're too late. We're never too late. We can always learn and move forward. Just hop in, get your feet wet, do what you want to do because you want to do it. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it
and
is
get a
always
mentor.
changing.
Get a
Yes.
mentor, dang it, because you won't get very far without one.
Right.
It's really important to have a mentor. They guide you, especially in the early years. So get a mentor.
Yes.
You know,
Otherwise,
and
you're just learning the hard way over and over again.
You know who your 5% mentor is, or you'll find them, whoever they are.
That's right.
So.
Well, the teacher always appears when the student's ready. That's how it works.
That's right. Yes.
Good stuff. So true. It does change all the time. Don't let it dissuade you or discourage you. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
I love that.
Smile and wave. Keep swimming.
Right.
Just keep going.
She does water ballet. The rest of us swim. She does hello, and her leg goes up. And exactly.
Synchronized swim with a few girls.
Yes, exactly. I used to do that in high school too, by the way.
That's funny.
It was awesome.
You don't want to see Carrie swim. It's more like blub blub doggy paddle. Did I get my hair wet? Oh God.
You're so funny.
It's all good, all good. Well, I'm going to let Mia go. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Be sure to download her free offer and keep some of that money. Don't just make it, but keep it. I love that. That's the best balance to have in business. So I'm going to let everybody go. Big hugs, big love. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you so much. Bye.